The plan here is to do a quick Windows XP Athlon XP type system. Socket 462, ATX motherboard, AOPEN AK77-600GN. Let's start by clicking the memory in. It's a 1 gig stick of DDR RAM. This board's got IDE, it's got SATA, PCI, AGP, built-in sound, network, quite a lot of USB, and it's a board I've replaced this capacitor on because this has failed, and I did do a video about this previously, but basically it didn't render for some reason. It decided that no, I'm not going to work. So we're going to hopefully just do a quick video on this, because what I'm most interested in is some old school gaming, maybe look at the Quake and Doom series of games. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to be using a Thermaltake heatsink. It's got a copper core. I've replaced the fan on this because it failed. It would normally be orange. And we're going to start with a fresh application of thermal paste. This is a Sempron processor. And we're going to just do a quick build outside of the case because it's easier to put the heatsink and processor and memory in, and I've also forgotten to apply thermal paste. So we're using stuff. It's really quite frustrating how drippy this this thing is. This cooler thing is. This is a GeForce 4 MX420, and I need to change the battery on the camera. I think that's everything apart from keyboard. Where have I put the keyboard? All the way. Okay, I think we're at the switching on stage. Find the power switch, which is probably this one, or the one next to it. And I also need to switch the power supply on, that always helps. Right, it is on. We have the beep. We have the system. So let's just have a quick look in the BIOS, check the CPU temperature. I'm using the power supply that I checked twice in the last video, and we want to have a quick look at the hardware monitor to check CPU temperature, system temperature, CPU fan speed, voltages. All looking reasonable. Next we'll be installing Windows, and also maybe we put it in the case first. Yes, because there's a CD drive in the case, and we may as well check that while we're at it. I had the idea that I would use the onboard SATA and connect up SATA drives, but basically they are not being recognized. I have pretty much no idea why. I've tried numerous cables. I've installed the drivers in Windows for the SATA controller. I know these drives work in other systems. So yeah, I am kind of at a loss here as to why they're not working. It's basically coming up with the SATA controller, and it's not detecting hardware. Initiate fail, please check device. So one more thing I'll try, that's using a different power connector, but these hard drives are spinning up, they are powered up, so yeah, who knows what's going on here. I may just stick with IDE. I've tried a different power connector for the hard drives and still nothing. So I think I will give up on these SATA connections on this motherboard. That'll do temporarily until I sort it out in a more useful way. I'm connecting up these things at the front. I don't even know if you can see it. I'll do a quick adjustment. Connect these up. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. I mean, my hands are going to be in the way. We have a reset switch. Reset the careful. We have power switch. This one. You wire up the speaker the wrong way around and it sets fire to itself. see what we've got. You have a power LED. You have a beep. We have a system booting into Windows, but we do not have the hard drive LED. Yep, we've got a hard drive LED. There's another light on there, I don't know what it's for. And it's like a standby light. Let's see. Got a CD drive that works. And if we've got a floppy drive that works, well, I do have a floppy disk somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So, we have a drive. Eject it. I think I disabled the A drive in the BIOS, which is why we don't have it. Right. Well, there we go. There is a Windows XP machine. And there we go. There is a Windows XP machine. Next for some games. I've just run 3D Mark 2000 and it's got 6,228. And this is with a GeForce 4 MX420 graphics card. They may not be the most optimal drivers. I like running through this just to see that it runs and is stable. I'll also run 2001. We have got a 3D Mark score for 3D Mark 2001 of 3,909, and that means we should be okay playing a number of different games, particularly games that maybe came out in 2000, 2002. We've got Windows XP up and running. Getting older games to work in Windows XP is, I guess, pretty difficult. For Doom, I've had to use Chocolate Doom, which means that the sound and music works properly, and I can play this without any slowdown. So, don't know if you can hear the music there. But I've got music and sound effects and it's all running very smoothly. I've got the option of running it in a window. But in terms of running Quake, I've had to use WinQuake. And GL Quake is not working at all. Quake 2, that will only work in software mode and won't work in the 3D accelerated mode. So this is running software mode. If I try and activate the OpenGL driver, that doesn't work at all. But then when we get to newer games such as Quake 3 and Max Payne, it's all running fine. So this is running fine and getting a reasonable frame rate from this. So really, I think a Windows XP machine is good for sort of maybe 1999 to, I don't know, 2005 games, maybe a bit later than that as well. And I'll be probably installing a few more games onto this. We got 59 frames per second for that. So yeah, the kind of the ideal games for this system are going to be Quake 3 Max Payne onwards, and not necessarily Quake or Doom. Quake and Quake 2, struggling to get them working well. I'm still going to give Doom 1 and Doom 2 a try, and also I'm going to be giving Doom 3 a go. I think that Doom 3 will be in the right age range for this system, but for the older games, really, like 3DFX specials, like 3DFX Quake, which runs brilliantly. The older systems, AMD K62500 or Pentium 3 450, those systems that I've got will run them so much better, I think, than this system. Yeah, and also the DVD drive doesn't work, so I'm going to replace that. I've installed Doom 3, just the demo. The system requirements, this system pretty much matches them. Okay. I downloaded updated drivers from Phil's computer lab, and now this is working. Okay, so I have to quit to change the resolution. I might retry some of the other games now that I've updated the graphics drivers.
Is the largest corporate entity in existence.
We have them on radar, sir. They'll be landing in a few moments.
Excellent. See that Counselor Swan is sent directly to me.
Not very smooth, is it?
Tower, Dark Star on final. Yes, sir. We've got the Dark Star. You are set for lockdown. Welcome back.
That's nice and slow, isn't it?
If that's what it takes, the Kruger is going to start doing things our way. Whatever you say, Counselor.
Oh, is this me? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to.
Welcome to Mars. All new arrivals need to check in at reception. If
Okay.
you're looking for someone to help you, just head to reception.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna change the graphic settings.
Welcome to Mars.
You should too.
But with the shadows. Shadows don't seem right, really, do they?
If you're staying.
Okay, I seem to have solved a lot of my problems by installing updated drivers. I got them from Phil's computer lab, and before running the drivers, I was getting 59 frames per second in Quake 3. Now I'm getting 151 frames per second. Also got Quake GL working properly. I've also got Quake 2 working properly with 3D graphics. So yeah, I'll just show you this. So there we go, that's running significantly better than before. So it looks like we've got Quake, first one, Quake 2 running, Quake 3 running. We had Doom 1 running in Chocolate Doom. I've yet to put Doom 2 on, and Grand Theft Auto 3's working. Just quickly show you that. Picked this up from a charity shop. It was 20p, 20 pence. We need a car. How rude. Running Doom 3, we're not really getting very good frame rates, mostly 10 frames per second when action is happening. So I think we're going to need to look at upgrading the graphics card if we want to run that properly. But Grand Theft Auto is running fine. I think Max Payne should be okay, and Quake 3 is running fine. So for the time being, I'm going to shut this down and pack it up because I'm moving. It's not going to fade completely to black and white. There's still a little bit of colour.